Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the strangest and rarest medical conditions in the world, diseases so bizarre, they sound almost unreal. Stick around till the end, because number 1 will completely blow your mind. Let's get right into it. Number 7. Alice in Wonderland Syndrome. Out of all rare conditions, perhaps the most surreal is Alice in Wonderland Syndrome, named after Lewis Carroll's famous story. This strange disorder completely distorts how people perceive reality, almost like living in a never-ending optical illusion. For someone with this syndrome, everyday objects can suddenly appear to shrink or expand without warning. A pet cat might look as massive as an elephant, while your own hands could suddenly seem as large as dinner plates. These changes can happen in an instant, making the world around you feel like a dream. One boy in Australia struggled to play chess because his fingers appeared far too wide to grasp the pieces. Others carry mirrors to double-check if their bodies are really changing size, even though the distortions exist only in their minds. But it doesn't stop at vision. The syndrome also warps time itself. A short 5-minute walk may feel like it takes hours, while an hour-long class can vanish in seconds. These bizarre episodes mostly affect children and teenagers, often triggered by migraines, viral infections, or even something as simple as cough medicine. It's like someone is constantly messing with the brain's internal graphic settings, turning the real world into a living, shifting illusion. Number 6. Proteus Syndrome. Proteus Syndrome is one of the rarest and most mysterious conditions in the world, and it's the same disorder that made the Elephant Man, Joseph Merrick, a medical legend. This condition causes completely random and uncontrolled growth in different parts of the body. What makes it especially unsettling is its unpredictability. For example, one arm might look perfectly normal while the other grows to twice its natural size. Feet can grow unevenly, forcing people to walk awkwardly or even on their tiptoes. In some cases, the skin itself begins to thicken and twist into unusual spiral or patchwork-like patterns, almost like a bizarre living sculpture. Proteus syndrome doesn't follow any rules. It can affect bones, muscles, skin, connective tissue, and even internal organs. Doctors have no way of knowing which part of the body will start changing next, or when it will happen. The condition is incredibly rare, affecting fewer than 1 in a million people worldwide. Sadly, there's no known cure. Treatments only focus on managing symptoms and improving quality of life. For those living with Proteus syndrome, every day brings uncertainty, as their own body can suddenly change in ways they cannot control. Number 5. Cotard's Delusion. Among the strangest mental disorders in medical history is Cotard's Delusion, also known as walking corpse syndrome. People with this condition are fully convinced that they are dead, believing their organs have rotted away, their blood has dried up, or that they simply don't exist anymore. This bizarre belief leads to dangerous behavior. Some patients stop eating, convinced that corpses don't need food. Others abandon hygiene, reasoning that the dead don't need to bathe. In extreme cases, people even attempt to visit their own graves, certain they belong there. One man nearly starved because he refused meals, insisting he was already dead. Strangely, not all sufferers think of themselves as lifeless. Some believe they are immortal, reasoning that once dead, they cannot die again. Scientists suspect the cause lies in a malfunction of the brain's self-recognition system, like a broken selfie camera that shows not a living person, but a corpse. Number 4. Stoneman Syndrome. Imagine waking up to find your muscles slowly hardening into bone. This nightmarish condition is called Stoneman Syndrome, or fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, FOP. It begins with small lumps under the skin that gradually transform into solid bone. Over time, the body creates a second skeleton, trapping the person inside their own frame. What makes it worse is how easily it's triggered. A simple fall, a bump, or even a routine injection can spark a new wave of bone growth. Unlike other diseases, surgery doesn't help, it actually accelerates the process. Every attempt to remove the bone only results in more bone forming. As the condition progresses, movement becomes nearly impossible. Joints lock, limbs stiffen, and eventually, Even breathing can be affected as the chest becomes encased. FOP is extremely rare, with only about 900 known cases worldwide. For those affected, it's like slowly turning to stone while still alive. Number 3. Kuru Disease. Deep in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, villagers once suffered from a mysterious illness that caused uncontrollable laughter, trembling, and eventually the complete loss of movement and speech. This chilling condition was called Kuru, also known as the Laughing Death. The disease spread through ritual cannibalism, where grieving families consumed the bodies of their loved ones as a sign of respect. Unfortunately, some brains carried deadly prion, misfolded proteins that act like infections. Once inside the body, they attacked healthy proteins in the brain, slowly eating it away until it resembled a sponge full of holes. Victims remained painfully aware as their bodies shut down, starting with odd bursts of laughter, then tremors, and finally total paralysis. Kuru could hide silently for decades before symptoms appeared, and once they did, there was no cure. Though it disappeared with the end of cannibalism, it revealed a terrifying truth. Proteins themselves can be infectious. Number 2. Fatal Familial Insomnia. Now imagine a world where your brain literally forgets how to sleep. That's the nightmare of fatal familial insomnia, one of the rarest and deadliest brain disorders known to science. It often begins with mild trouble falling asleep, but quickly spirals into relentless, months-long insomnia. The root cause is a genetic mutation that creates misfolded proteins called prion. These proteins slowly destroy the thalamus, the brain's command center for regulating sleep. Victims become trapped in a twilight zone, never fully awake, never fully asleep. Their body temperature rises, blood pressure spikes, heart races, memory collapses, and muscles fail. Ordinary sleeping pills and sedatives don't work, leaving patients completely helpless. The cruelest part? It's inherited. If one parent carries the mutation, there's a 50% chance their children will too. Once symptoms appear, there's no cure. Patients face a slow, terrifying decline, wide awake until the very end. Number 1. Harlequin Ichthyiosis. Imagine being born wrapped in armor, but instead of protecting you, it crushes you. That's the harsh reality of Harlequin Ichthyiosis, one of the rarest genetic skin disorders in the world. Babies with this condition are born with thick, hard plates of skin that grow nearly 14 times faster than normal. These armor-like layers crack and split, leaving behind painful wounds and open doors for deadly infections. The diamond-shaped pattern of the skin inspired its name, taken from the Harlequin costumes of Italian theater. But there's nothing theatrical about the struggles it brings. The rigid skin can twist the face into a grimace, flip eyelids inside out, and even make breathing difficult. In the past, survival beyond a few days was almost impossible. But today, with advanced treatments, some patients live into adulthood. Survivors like Nellie Shaheen in the UK dedicate hours daily to creams, baths, and care, turning survival into a full-time battle.